Okay, this is my first trail ride this season. It'll be a little bit of a longer intro because I need to talk about some context before we get into this trail. So first thing, it is like, what, April 27th, I think, Saturday, 2023. I have not kept up in shape at all. I was not in a mindset. I was focusing on other things. And I wasn't in like bike life mindset during the off season, which is dumb because bike life mindset is just a healthy mindset for me. And although I was doing a lot of work, I think emotionally and mentally, I wasn't supplementing that with the physical needs that I have. So I'm going into this season in probably the worst shape I've ever been in, period, like in life. And that made me feel a little paranoid. I got on my bike. I also live in a new area now. So accessing trails is going to look way different for me, and that's going to be some challenging stuff. But also, I got a new job, and so getting out to ride is also going to be very difficult with the hours that I'm working and the days and all that stuff. So, with that said, I want to find time and really focus in on bike life and on health, all types of health, mental, emotional, and physical. But I was a little nervous at first. I did a couple neighborhood rides. I've been on my bike only like 3 times, I think, since I don't know when, like 6 months ago. I don't even know how long it's been now. And that made me feel better. So first trail ride, I'm going to do something that I suggest you do not do. And that is, if you have not been riding trails recently and you're going on your first trail ride or two of the season, don't ride a trail you've never ridden. That's what I'm about to do. But maybe you want to reacquaint yourself with some nice trails you know really well. So I'm up here, I'm on the west side. We got, Deer Trail, Track 2 over there, Porcupine, I can't remember the name of it now. Over there, we got Barley Brew and the Muff, Crazy Train. Here is Raccoon Run. So it's listed as a green. If you look at Trail Forks, here's the thing too. So I looked this morning and I was like, what should I ride? I really need to ride today. Let's get this thing going. Let's hit a trail. Raccoon Run is listed there as a green. There's no details, there's no information, but it is really short, which means I know it's going to be steep, because how am I going to get to the top of the coulees to the bottom in that short amount of time? I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm going to give it a shot right now anyway and see what happens, and hopefully I can do that safely. But that's one of those things you can pay attention to as well if you know the topography well. So there's been a lot of people in the past couple of years that have been listing trails. And I will say, if you are going to do that, one, make sure that it's actually relevant, because otherwise we've just got trails and trails and trails that are, one, are overlapping, or they're like access roads that are not single tracks, and they're just not useful to have on there, and they clutter things up, or they're little tiny like connectors that are kind of unnecessary. They're like, 100 meters long and that's it. The other thing is, put some details in there if you can, which, I mean, if you are able to make the trail and post it and list it, then you probably are able to type a few words and just talk about why you think that trail is great. Getting the designation of trails changed all depends on the mods. So if I ride this and I'm like, there's no way this is a green, this is crazy steep, and this is not a very good beginner trail, it's not very beginner friendly, which is what I suspect. I might want to get it changed to a blue, and I might not be able to do that very well, because it depends on mods. So yeah, longer intro, just giving you some context coming up into the new season for me. Again, I do want to focus on stuff and really get out there and just get better, at everything. Anyway, a little bit about me and a little bit about if you're posting trails to Trail Forks, and also what to look out for when you're looking at trails on Trail Forks. Ivan MTB, Ivan Mountain Bike, MTB. He's been posting lots of stuff. If you don't know about him yet, you can find him on YouTube. He's been posting stuff to the Facebook groups a lot. He's adding videos to Trail Forks. He's a gnarlier rider than I am. And he does a lot of good. And I've used his videos before for like this one trail that I had never ridden up to that point, and he had, and he posted it. So, anyway, hope these are still useful to you. Raccoon Run, let's get it. So this is a bit steep. I think I could clean it, but a lot of it is mental right now. But I am curious as to this trail right here. I don't know what that is. I want to explore that sometime and see what that is, if it's listed or not. I don't remember what's right next to this, or in between this and Porcupine, whatever it is. Because that might be more chill than this. But this is a steep section. It's really difficult to say, honestly, if I would keep it green or not. I'm going to finish this off here, and yeah. It's a lot easier to stay on your bike and get over the mental part than trying to get back on your bike in the middle of a trail sometimes, especially when it's steep. So, oh man, but this is like, this is steep too, you know? I don't know if this is green, yo. And like, I think talking while I ride definitely helps me. Okay, well, that mental hurdle overcame that one. Man, I sound like such a dork. But at the same time, it does help me to talk that out. Okay, can I do that? Yes, I can. I think next time I will use the Chesty, and I will try to clean that. Because I believe it is just mental for me more than anything. So here's the view from there. It's tough, man. I think that it might be a green, but it is like the darkest green I've ever seen. So let's see here. You can see my dumb face as I talk about this. Yeah, for a really small trail, this is a really long video. Sorry about that, but getting back into the swing of things. So even this ender is steep, but the other part, because there's a turn and it's a little bit like, from my angle at one point, I thought the dirt disappeared into the grass, but it doesn't. Okay, so as far as green trails go, it's a little bit bumpy, not bad. The good thing is there's no real exposure on either side. So you can bail without getting hurt really, unless you bail right into like the manhole cover sewer thing, then that would really suck. If you bail pretty much anywhere else, I think you're pretty safe. Lay your bike down, you're too nervous, you know, but once you commit to that descent, like part of it is just knowing when to bail. Because once you commit, it's really dangerous to try to bail in the middle of it. It's like, you gotta just send it. And I've said that before. It's something that I've learned through, you know, other than just listening to other people, but just I've learned through my own personal experiences with bailing at the wrong time and getting wrecked. So, yeah, as far as things go, the first like 50% of it is pretty chill. I think it fits nicely into a green. But I would say what's great about this one, I think I've said this before about one of the other trails down here, is that it is great for training. So if you want to really push yourself to take some steeper sections, like, man, I understand why they labeled it a green. So it wasn't as steep as I thought it was going to be for as long, but it was really just that the one before this one that tripped me up. And again, more mentally, but there does take a certain amount of ability to ride that. I think I will leave it as a green, but I'm going to try to add a description and hopefully that gets approved. Again, the biggest challenge here is just steepness. It is not just a mental hurdle. Put your seat down if you can, if you don't have a dropper post. You know, put your seat down ahead of time so you can really tuck back and have more control that way. So yeah, if your seat was too high for this, it's not going to be good. What else can I say? I can't think of anything else right now. This is like more talking than it is the riding for this one. Next time, throw the Chesty on, try to clean this thing, and I want to go see what that other trail is sometime. With that, we'll see you another time for another raw ride.